I am the green, you are the red.
There. It's the shot. Serve above that line.
That's her point.
I grew up like a tomboy. My name was Genghis Khan, and that way I was able to hang outside and people didn't know. Could always face the front wall. And after that I fell in love with squash. Your swing shouldn't start here. Your swing shouldn't start here.
And I go to attack.
Here's the place. Here's the legend. Here I am. And my new teachers. He's on the Olympic fencing team. I play hockey. But we've never done this before. Experience? Zilch.
No replay.
No clue how to start, less clue how to play. And neither do you when you start out. And that's the point, because every athlete has a first day. And you've just been drafted. There are 3 forms of fencing: sabre, foil, and épée. Joseph is a sabre fencer on the Canadian Olympic team. Thrusting and slashing moves mark the sabre fencing style. Fencing evolved as a sport form of self-defense training around the 18th century. In 1763, Domenico Angelo started a fencing academy in London, England. He established the rules for footwork and posture that are now used to govern the sport. Joseph continues this noble sport today, representing his country in sabre on Team Canada. Having studied the art of fencing at the prestigious Collège Jean de Brebeuf, where many of Canada's top Olympic fencers have come from, I couldn't ask for a better teacher. It's a sport of incredible skill, requiring surgically precise footwork with physical and mental endurance. He makes it look easy, but it's not.
Well, thanks for having me, first of all. It's a lot of fun to be here. So I'm going to show you the sport of sabre fencing. Not too many people know, but fencing has 3 distinct weapons, which are like 3 distinct sports. I've never done the other 2. So I'm going to show you my specialty. It's the quicker, more aggressive one, and my personal favorite, obviously. And I'm excited to show you the equipment, the rules, how we work out, what we do, and get people a little bit more informed of how the sport works. First of all, there's always the mask, all right? So this goes at the top, protects you from all the hits. When you're in Canada, you have a little Canadian flag on it. Every country has their own sort of flag that they put on the mask. It's like a new thing that started 2 years ago. It's really cool. This is the weapon. This is how you make your points. This is how you make your living. This is how you beat opponents. This is the sabre. So most people have probably seen something we call an épée, which is, people sort of stand like this and going back and poking. That's not what we do. We sort of hold it straight up, and our goal is to slash. A glove to protect your hand, and to challenge people to duels with a glove slap. No, that's not true. This is just, you put it on your hand that holds the sabre. What we wear on the inside is 3 layers of protection. We start off with this one, which is called a sous-plastron. It's a French term. So since I'm left-handed, this will go over on my left side and protect this part of my body. And this goes right over it. So this is the standard white vest, which has a specific resistance. And on top of that, electric lame. So this is important because, as I'll show you guys later, we connect to wires and machines in order to know when we touch the opponent that our light turns on and that we touch the opponent. In the back, you have your name with your country. And here are stamps of every competition, because before every competition you have to go get all your equipment approved and checked to make sure it's safe and stable. And finally here we have the fencing pants. Very sexy, they protect you. And finally we have fencing socks. There are some simple ones. They go all the way up to the knees, and then the pants come over, so you're all in white. As I'll show you later. So, a little intro to our saber fencing.
Awesome. All right, let's suit up.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, so let's start with the field of play. All right, so before we get into sort of how we move, how we hit, I'm going to explain to you what a fencing strip is. So this is a fencing strip. It's 14 meters long, and what they say is that it comes from the medieval times when it was the corridor of a hall of a castle where people would do a duel. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. That's sort of what they said, but it sounds cool, so I'm saying it. And that's pretty much what we fence on, 14-meter strip. These are the on-guard lines, right? So this is where you start, all right? You put your front foot behind this line, and your opponent will have his front. So if you stay there and I'm your opponent, I will have my front foot behind this line, okay? So this is the distance that separates us, and we have the middle. This is the middle between, so just to know we're at the right distance. And there's a referee who will say on guard, ready, fence, and that's when we start going at it. And we'll have a little demo later with each other. So when you keep going, let's say you start coming towards me and pretend we're in a fencing match, you're coming forward. This is called the warning line, meaning you don't have much space left before you get off the strip. So when you're coming back, you sort of see this, you're like, all right, I better make a move quick or I'm gonna go off the strip, and I lose a point if I leave the strip. So that's the basic fencing strip. Now, let's sort of learn how we walk. So fencing is pretty simple. You're right-handed. All right, so you put your right leg in front, your left leg perpendicular, stick them together, all right? Make sure the heels are close to touching, yeah. Now, bring one leg back, and you're into a semi-squat. Now, if you want to move forward, what you're going to do is you're going to lift the front foot and then slowly slide the back foot to land at the same time as the front foot. So if you go front, then bring the leg back and land. Front, leg back, land. And what you try to do is keep the same distance that you had in the beginning. Because if you come too close, your balance will be off and you won't be able to get out of the way fast enough. You want to have the same sort of steps and distance between your feet so you can be able to go in and out quick. So let's say you get back into your on guard position with a nice separation. You have to have perfect, get in the half squat. All right, now when you go step, land, step, land. There you go, step, land, step, land. Good. Now to go backwards, pretty intuitive. Just go back, bring your foot back, bring your foot, and try to always keep the same distance between your legs. All right, we're looking good. Now, how do we hold the saber? So if I'm in front of you and I want to hit you, I can't be able to hit you. You have to be protecting yourself from your main position. Try and keep your shoulders square, just ready to block. That's a good position. A little bit menacing towards me. Oh, you're looking good. Perfect. All right, so you're protected. And the way you hold the saber is sort of like a paintbrush. All right? So what you want to do is you want to have your thumb to the top and your two fingers here sort of use as swivels. Sort of, it's like just your fingers. Don't use the wrist, just the fingers. So, very important. Have your thumb up here, put it all the way to the top. Put your two fingers here, the two top ones, and just try and swivel it. Just with your fingers. It takes a little bit of practice. It's because we always have the tendency to do it with our wrists, but you have to use your fingers because you want to be able to change directions very quick on the fly and with a surprise element. Because if you're doing too much of your wrist, the opponent can see sort of where you're going to come. You want to do it really quick because you don't want it to have the time to see that. I want my thumb to be turning towards the direction I want to attack.
So it was pure luck. I had no family history of it, nobody had ever done it around me, and it was pure luck when I went into my high school at 12 years old called Collège Jean de Brebeuf. And the first training session, it's actually pretty funny, was a 1 mile run. And I was scared because at the time I played sports like I was doing kickboxing and soccer, but I wasn't good at longer distances. I was a little bit chubbier at the time. and nothing would have made me complete that mile. I think at that time, for sure I would have never made it. So I was really, really scared about this. So what happened was I was dreading that the whole day, and one of my math classes at the end of the day ran a little bit too late. Coach came up and he's like, okay, why were you late? First of all, he was about to cut me on the spot, but then I said, listen, it was my class, you ran late, I'm sorry. And then he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna make you run this sometime this week, but now it's okay, just come in and do the rest. Hopefully he doesn't make me run it, he forgets, and he did forget.
With fencing, spending a lot of time in a crouched position, it's a lot of strain on the lower extremities. Because you spend so much time in this position, rather than pushing yourself forward off the rear leg, you're propelling yourself forward with that same support leg. You end up using the quadricep quite a lot.
This has been one of the wildest experiences I could have ever imagined. Making the Olympic team was just a roller coaster. The amount of attention you get, media, what the interest people have. Before nobody knows what fencing is, and then all of a sudden it's thrust into the spotlight. Some sponsors are more interested, and it's something it's very hard to recreate in the real world. I call it Olympic land. It's like a fantasy world where everything's great, and it's like everything's high speed, high energy.
It's almost time for my first duel. No pressure or anything.
For support, a little bit further. So if you mix it far,
Touch at the same time. Those are both our lights, right? So I am the green, you are the red. What saber fencing is pretty much trying to gain the attack priority against your opponent. What do I mean? So let's say I'm in front of my opponent, we're in guard position together, okay? And I'm advancing on her slowly, and she's going back, and then we slowly touch each other at the same time. That would be my point, because I had the initiative of attack forward. She could be going backwards and saying, okay, I can't get this point if I touch at the same time. So I have to light up my light first without him touching me, trying to hit me. And then she made a surprise attack on me. I didn't expect it. She faked me out. That's her point. Another way she could take the attack initiative back is if she straight up blocks my initial attack. So she's going back slowly, and I go to attack, blocks me, and we hit at the same time. That's her point. On guard. Ready? Fence. Ah! She got me. Oh! That's called a sky hook. So it's because it comes from the sky, you think I'm gonna go in, and then at the last second, I get out of the way, so you can't touch me. It's a really interesting technique. It was a lot of fun. Till next time. So our next duel.
Coming up,
My name is Maria Toorpakai-Wazir. I'm Pakistan's #1 female squash player. Boom, one bounce. Right. The back of the wall, wrist should be always cocked. From there, boom.
squash lesson.
So I grew up like a tomboy. My name was Genghis Khan, and that way I was able to hang outside and people didn't know. You'd always face the front wall. First sport that I started was weightlifting. That way it does not lose the sight of the ball. And after that I fell in love with squash. If you swing, your swing shouldn't start here, your swing shouldn't start here, your swing shouldn't start here. It should always, the two eyes should be looking at the front wall, because squash is such a huge sport in Pakistan, and we had many, many world champions in men's. So when I saw the beauty of this sport, the rackets, the clothing style, the stamina and the determination behind that, I wanted to play squash, and today I'm a professional squash player and represent Pakistan all over the world. Arm should be L-shaped, the wrist should be cocked, and then from there it comes the body. I used to look at boys, how they train and how they play, and then I used to get on board and try to figure it out on my own, do the same kind of drills by myself. And I kept learning that way. And then, with time, I also got into camps, national camps that, made me better. This is the actual squash ball. It's a soft ball. That's what they call it here in North America. And you have to know if it has one dot, it's a little, faster. And if it has two dots, that's actually the professional squash. When you play, you always use two double yellow dots. Yeah. You have to hit it hard to make it warm, and then it would start bouncing a little. That line in the middle is called service line. So whenever you serve above that line. If it hits below that line, it's out. I have a lot of memories definitely from my childhood and how I ended up in sport. This is all I feel like a miracle for me. Coming from the tribal areas and playing sports, and then today I'm sitting here among you, among the Western people. It's all kind of a miracle for me. And from the backhand, the same thing. So you see, when you hold this racket like this, it's cocked wrist, you see? But if you move like this, or you move like this, you see the racket never changes. I love squash, and it gave me kind of life. I understand squash. I see squash as life. Once you get on squash court, you can actually find a whole life in there. When to be defensive, when to be attacking, how to behave, when you're calm, you gain the points. When you get upset or angry, you lose the points. So that's how you can learn so much about yourself when you're playing squash, and it connects you to your spiritual side. And the more you behave well, the better you become as a squash player and also as a better human being. It was out. 5-love. Try again. Let's try again. Nice. Yes. You saw that? Because you came back to the tee, you were able to get it. So it's now 1-5. You want to serve? Usually people, what they do, because this is my backhand, so you would always go towards the right service box to serve, because backhand is usually slow. In the corners, the ball dies so quickly, so you have to be putting effort in every shot, to either to bring it all the way to the back or finish the shot, like tacking, like so precise you have to be. The major one, I played Asian Junior, the first one, and I also played in British Junior. But the one that is very close to me is the World Junior, and which I performed really well, and I came third. That was in India. That was in Chennai, and it was in 2009. And yeah, there are some rules that you have to follow. And nowadays, you see the referees. Now they added 3-referee system. So there are 3 referees, and if the 2 have the same decision, the main referee has to follow that decision. So it has to be 2 against 1. The referee has to be aware it's a let ball, it's a no let, or it's a stroke. Perfect. Amazing. Okay, here you go. Now you serve from there. Now it's 2-5. Let's retry. No, you lose the point. In reality, you lose the point. 2. Game ball. Game.
Sports involving the use of rackets made with strings date as far back as the late 16th century. The game of squash, as we know it today, was invented in Harrow School and was descended from a British game known simply as rackets. The dots on the balls indicate the bounce for difficulty by how soft they are. In 1884, St. Paul's School in Concord, New Hampshire was home to the first squash court in North America. Shortly after Pakistan gained independence, former British Army squash coach Hashim Khan joined the Pakistan Air Force and represented the country in the 1951 British Open. Since then, Pakistan has continued to be one of the most dominant in the sport worldwide. Only on Go Nitro. The show doesn't end here. Visit us online for your fix at gonitro.tv. You can follow us on Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can tweet us on Twitter.
Go Nitro Access is brought to you by Pitro.ca, Ottawa's DIY Garage, Aviva Canada.
Salon services for Go Nitro provided by ID Hair Studio. Hair for who you really are.
Dalton Timmis Insurance, proud sponsors of the Mopar CSBK Championship on TSN. Dalton Timmis is known throughout Canada as an insurance brokerage that provides specialty insurance products and programs. Dalton Timmis Insurance, much more than motorcycles.